So that sucks. I mean, I guess it's Darius Leonard, so if there's going to be an auto draft, it's number 1 overall. The question is,
hey, everybody, welcome to a special episode here at Fantasy and Frames. We're doing an IDP best ball draft here. We got a bunch of people in the fantasy football community. I'll let Nate take over hosting duties for the show. Nate, take it away.
Hey, welcome everybody. When Jorge and I and the folks at RTSports started our collaboration together, we knew that we were going to have something potentially special on the work, in the works, and this is the baby that we pretty much put together. Is one of the first IDP best ball drafts and season-long event that I've seen. I don't know about the rest of everybody here, and we'll go through and I'll introduce everybody, but I was on the clock right now, so I had to take Roquan Smith last minute. But let's go through. So obviously pick number 1 is Blake. That's our friend Doug's cousin, I believe, Blake Barker. He's not able to join us tonight. Took Darius Leonard. Jeff Power, the lead writer over at RTSports, had the number 2 pick. And he took Devin White, pretty normal 1 and 2. I had the 3. 3 is crazy up in the air. You could take a pick of whichever. Sorry, Doug. Sounds like you're good. Oh, and so Dylan is on the clock. Dylan, is your last name Scorish? Is it actually Scorish?
Yep.
Okay. So that's what I kind of thought. Dylan and I know each other through Rasball. Dylan's writing at Rasball. Tell us a little bit about what all they can expect to see this year so far from you.
The old distraction game. I see what you're doing, Nate. Dylan has to make a pick here.
Already picked, so I'm good. I'm ready to steal. Yeah. No. So this year we're going to be. I'm going to be doing the injury report. So you're going to be finding out coming Saturday. Who's injured, who's impacted. One thing I wanted to focus on this year was the non-skill players who are going to impact injuries in fantasy. So who in the O-line is out, who in the secondary is out, who's going to make real differences in each individual matchup every week, more than just, backup handcuff running backs. So that's something I kind of wanted to focus on. And hopefully, we'll see that go pretty well this year.
That's excellent. I mean, honestly, one of the things that I think people, the majority, not just novice, but even advanced players, they forget is that there's 22 players on a team that are going to play pretty much significant snaps, and to know a little bit more than just the, like you mentioned, who is the backup out, or is the receiver going to miss a game or significant snaps, that left tackle is going to have more impact on the passing game than a number 3 wide receiver will.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at that this week, with Zach Martin being out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's huge on Zeke's game.
And that translates directly into IDP. So then the question is, who's going to take advantage on the IDP side for the Bucs? And there's so many names to be had.
Who isn't, honestly?
Exactly. And if you want to know more about any of the IDP Week 1 rankings, you can go to fantasyandframes.com. Jorge and I both have our Week 1 IDP rankings up. You'll see quite a bit of the changes from what you might normally see from a redraft scenario or going into it. The picks continue to go. I don't want to miss anybody because next pick in the 5 spot is one of my good friends, Kurt Brown. Kurt, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. Kurt joined us last year for a few of our mock drafts, and Kurt's been involved with, man, you're in Raz Bowl now for the 2nd year in a row. You
guys got me into this IDP game last year because I've been playing fantasy football, like traditional fantasy football, for about 20 years now, and I've been quite mediocre at it at best. So I figured I'd dabble in IDP and see if my luck's any better.
And what happened as a result last year, Kurt gets into what I would consider one of the more advanced expert leagues possible, with the likes of Jorge and Oklahoma Doug and Jordan Rains and, kind of a who's who. And he makes it to the championship, I believe, and you lose in just by a few points, correct?
Yeah, I got second somehow.
So the first loser is fitting a Raiders fan like Dylan. So congratulations. Jorge, yes, we know Max. What takes on Max? I think Max is, a lot of positivity around his season this year when he went to that Von Miller pass rush camp, I guess you want to call it.
Yeah.
I mean, Kurt, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Dylan. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think he just continues to grow. He's an official captain this year, 18 months sober. You know what I mean? Which I think is awesome as a character thing from him, that he's taking that publicly. Mm-hmm. But just X's and O's, him and Clelin Ferrell, I think they're the baseline of that front of that pass rush. And if they can get anything going, their linebacker core is already pretty strong. They have a lot of depth. If they can get anything going, I think they're going to eat. And I think Max specifically is going to probably, almost definitely play the best out of those two.
Yeah, he really made some significant strides when they flipped them. They were bouncing them from the left side to the right side, and he looked like he liked to. I don't know if changing up left and right, and if there's any actual water to be had from that. If there's a person who would know that information, is the most recent added to the stream is Mr. Gary Van Dyke. Gary, welcome, my friend.
How you guys doing tonight, man? I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I'm doing. Did I pick Gilbert or Scobert?
Schobert. You got Schobert.
Yes, you did.
Well, I could have done worse.
This is true. But you're not sold on his upside in Pittsburgh, Gary?
Yeah, I was perfectly fine with him. I was going for Kendricks, just a little bit more. I thought secure. I don't think there's any doubt with him. Holbert, just going with the flow here, gut feelings.
Well, the good news is that in this best ball type format, first of all, have any of you guys ever played in the best ball IDP format whatsoever?
No, I was involved with a draft with Johnny the Greek a few months ago. It took forever.
Nate, give me Aaron Donald. I can't get logged into the site. Give me Aaron Donald. Can you do that?
Let me see if I can.
I don't know why it's not letting me in the draft, homie. Just a second. Didn't mean to cut you off, Mr. Gary.
No, that's all right, Doug. Do your thing, man. It's more important.
I don't know how to.
I don't. Yeah, we can roll on. Yeah, and I'll get it figured out. It's my fault. I didn't get it logged in. It's my fault, buddy. Eric, hell, you can't go wrong with Eric Kendricks. That's LB1. I'll take him. I'll take him all day. And let's see what this auto. Oh, Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
Yeah. We're good. We're good, boys. Roll on.
So when I'm
auto pick wins again.
So when I'm in the second spot and it's blue around me, I'm then picking. That's where I messed up. I waited to the far left, but whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 30 seconds left.
All right. Yeah.
And so now, this is a lot of people's first, foray into RT Sports drafting, and I think the one thing that we'll see here is that the format and the draft. Let's see. I just want to make sure. You good, Gary?
Who'd I get?
You're still having to make a pick. You have 7 seconds left. You got DeMario Davis.
Well, all right. I got one right.
All right. So the one thing, like I was saying, is with this, RT Sports has been around for forever. They were some of the original, like CDM Sports kind of started some of the fantasy industry. And it's not just a homer call because it happened to be in St. Louis, but a lot of the baseline for fantasy sports as a whole started with CDM here, and then RT Sports kind of evolved from that. And so they have this collaboration with us where you can start these IDP best ball leagues, or you can start the just a traditional offense, or pretty much honestly any scenario you want. We don't have. So Gary, real quick question: did you take DeMario Davis? Oh, it looks like so he was not auto drafted to you.
No, I picked him.
Okay.
Just trying to go steady Eddie since I missed out on his others. You was talking about that before Doug had his pick thing. That's what I was saying. I was in one with Johnny the Greek, and it was the first time best ball IDP I'd done. 30 rounds, 18 teams. It took almost 2 months to completely do that draft on MFL.
How the hell? I mean,
MFL.
We had water boys hitting
no doubt
at the end. That was the first experience I've had. So this is only the second. Please go on.
No, so I pretty much for the most part, I think that. Go ahead, Doug.
Even if it is, a little bit of auto draft here, I'd say the first round and the way it's gone to, Levante David, going maybe before his counterpart, maybe, raises a little flags there. But, if somebody wanted to play devil's advocate, I could see it. So, I'd say even though we got a little bit of auto draft going on here, I'd say there wasn't too much to kind of scour at.
Yeah, and the scoring format in this, Jorge and I kind of, when we planned this, is definitely more. It's not just straight tackle upside. Did you guys have a chance to look at the actual settings? Let me ask you that. Did you do rule number 1 of read the scoring settings, or did we just assume it's kind of going to be the normal IDP format? Which is there a normal?
I actually asked for him. I got him.
I did not mean to do that. Okay. Well,
yeah, I looked at him twice. I got him off of him as soon as I joined the league, and then I looked at him again right before I drafted. So it's not what they would say balanced so much. I mean, it's still favoring the tackle base. So a little bit, but you got those nice interceptions and such. So that's good, but it doesn't do a lot for the DL. Your solos were 2, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then your sack, did you have tackle for loss? That's the only one. That's the only score you didn't give me.
So tackle for loss we have is, or is it 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Is this stacked scoring? So will that count with a sack?
Yes.
So that's
I'm gonna tell you, I don't 100% know that, Gary. We assume it is, but we can't get definitive answers because I think they're still new when it comes to this format. So here we go. So this is the question I have: is how big of a gamble am I going to take right here in the fact that if he doesn't sign, I waste a pick?
Side note, I'd say Skarosh here is killing it. I like the solid floor Blake Martinez with the QB hurries. I love Aaron Donald in the end.
Listen, when you said Aaron Donald, I was like, God, this guy's gonna take my fucking player. Excuse me.
I love it.
I did not think he was gonna make it.
I like what you got building there, homie.
Thank you.
TJ Watt.
So
Nate,
to
answer your question, I say something gets done once they figure out their quarterback situation. Now, when that comes, who knows? Because I don't think they still have the QB of the future on the roster. So, are they going to draft one? I think that's kind of where the meat and potatoes of this thing is. I think that's what the little bit of holdup is are we going to have to being back for one more year, on a $12 million deal, something like that, So I think that's the holdup here. Could be wrong. I think that's holdup.
Yeah, they came out today and pretty much all but said that he deserves to get every dollar that is coming his way, and I think that's it's pretty evident. I mean,
can't argue, can you? How could anybody argue that, right?
No. But how good were the Texans when J.J. Watt was at his peak?
Yeah, but the finances have really, since JJ ever did what he did his peak.
But it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same scenario. I mean, you're going to have to pony up and give the guy a max deal. So it's kind of the same scenario. Houston pays JJ all the money, and we see what's led them down that road until they drafted Deshaun. So I think that's where the Steelers are at. We give this guy a max deal. Yeah, it's great to have the guy on defense, but we still need a quarterback. What are we going to do?
Well, Dylan, what are you going to do? You have high praise. It sounds like you've already won the draft, according to Doug. So can he lose it with a third-round pick?
I don't know. Yeah,
That's
the question is, do I take another backer, another defensive lineman here, or a linebacker, or do I take my first DB? That's sort of where I think I really like Von Bell here, and I'm out of time, so I'm going to have to pick him.
I do like Von Bell a lot. 60 seconds is a little fast. I will say I feel like I didn't anticipate the fact that I'm going to put all you guys on the spot by making you talk during your pick. So, Kurt, speaking of that,
good strategy.
If you had to do, I don't know, general math, and you were trying to add 3,200, I won't continue. I consult
6.
6 is right. How many games will the Raiders win? 6 is your answer.
Ooh.
Excellent answer. Excellent.
Aim
answer.
high, baby.
How many games are in the season this year? 18.
You really didn't account for an old guy on a 60-second clock either, man.
Hey,
you're doing better than I did. I had Q on, and I got Jabril Peppers with my second pick, so that's how this draft is going.
Yeah, I'm supposed to have Geritol clock, man.
Well, again, the good news is that I say it's good news. It's kind of consoling, is it? Not, there's no entry fee, but the friends at RTSports have been generous enough that the winner of this, honestly, it's the best return on my investment of probably any league I'm in, hands down, is that for a $0 investment, you win and you get a free $250 entry into the fantasy championship next year, which is
nice.
It's incredible. It's great. The first place this year for the overall fantasy championship, which is just like a collaborative, large GPP type best ball event, is $300,000. So theoretically, Jorge here is giving each and every one of you an opportunity. Basically, he's giving you $300,000. He's showing it to you. You just have to, you just have to make sure that you don't screw it up. And
so he's sitting there going, "You want to be famous?"
Yes.
Remember, no. I'm going. Right? You want to be a sponsor? That's
right.
Tell you what. Next time you talk to him, tell him thank you for that opportunity. I enjoyed the getting the invite.
Well, we enjoyed having. So Gary came up to our booth. Jorge and I were there, and Jorge, and I know it was one of the highlights of my weekend. I mean, seriously though,
how much did you drink that weekend?
Oh, a lot. I honestly didn't. I wrote it down. Gary showed up, and so I had to make sure. No,
you wrote it down. That's funny. Yeah, that was really cool. That was been kind of we should have stayed a little bit longer, but man, we had a terrible experience in Detroit trying to go to that preseason game. Got up there, they had a blackout, and we had a reservation. It fell through. Couldn't find anything in all the Detroit area. Went to the preseason game, and then got checking motels all the way back from Detroit, all in Ohio. Couldn't find a place until about 2:00 in the morning outside of Toledo. It just threw the rest of the whole weekend off. So by the time I got to Sunday, I was like, all right. And it was rough on my wife too. You guys probably remember she had the breast cancer last year. She's still getting over the chemo effects and stuff like that. So she don't have like the big gusto.
Yeah.
So, but while I was there, it was really cool, man. It was great seeing you guys, meet you. Thank you.
Sorry.
Appreciate it.
You're on the clock.
Yep.
Gary. Sorry.
Get it, Gary.
Well, let's see here.
Didn't mean to interrupt. Prayers out to your wife. Prayers out to your wife there, brother.
Absolutely. I second that. Absolutely. Prayers to your wife, Gary, for
and
continues to
Gary was
no worries. And can Doug follow up his stellar.
Can Doug
auto.
log in?
Can Doug
log in?
I'm here. Push it. Go.
Let's see.
I'm clicking Patrick Queen just as much as this.
Yeah, but then you have to click draft. You have to click draft after you pick.
Yeah, and
20 seconds to click draft.
Hey,
there we go.
All right.
Oh my God!
I don't feel as bad now.
I should have not told you. I should have not told you because I wanted.
I wanted Patrick. I would have taken.
You could have waited a couple rounds to tell him that, Jorge.
I got sniped by Gary there with D-Buck, man. That's a defensive tackle cutoff right there. But
yeah, that was the last one.
I'll take a guy I'm pretty high on at safety right here. Here we go. Hit that draft button, Doug.
Yep.
There we go, Mr.
All
right.
Back to Gary.
Oh shit! I ain't passing this up.
I like the sounds of all that. So here's the thing. So collectively, between Miles Jack is a great. I mean, pretty much
as long as he's on the field, he'll stay healthy. He'll produce. I mean,
I was gonna say if he's healthy, I can't see him missing a snap.
Putting me and Gary on that turn right there, that's gonna cause a little turmoil. That's what I'm afraid of.
I hope
here.
So let me ask Kurt. So since Kurt, technically you're really not a novice when it comes to IDP. I don't know if maybe Dylan, how many IDP leagues have you actually done, or how many 100% years?
IDP leagues? Very few.
Yes.
I think maybe one in 2 years. Other than that, I mean, I am in a bunch of leagues that have one or two, flex defensive players, but I'm definitely an IDP novice.
Fuck. I'm sorry, that was bad. I shouldn't have said that.
It's all good.
mean, shoot. Jeremy Chin just now went.
That I was hoping he'd get back to me for a minute.
I knew it'd throw him off. It'd throw him off.
But so, Dylan, when you go into these IDP only leagues, how do you formulate a plan? Do you have a plan? Do you read people's information about what they say? Do you just kind of go, I'm going to wing it? Or
yeah, I mean, for Rasball, Jordan Loop had a great Loop.
Yep. One of the two, yeah, for sure.
One of the two. Had a great breakdown of his favorite IDP players. And other than that, I mean, I read a little bit here and there, but sort of hoping that my love of the game can take me far enough.
I'd say that Hollywood has the safety market cornered. Anybody agree there?
Well, yes, he does.
Yeah. To go to Jonathan Abrams. I love it. I hope
which is shocking to me. Shocking to me that Jonathan Abrams is as highly ranked as he is, considering his real life play, leaves a lot to be desired.
His staying on the field play is the.
He plays like a man on a mission, and if you can just dial that down a couple of notches, and not having go that extra effort, whenever it plays dead on a 2nd and 9. T-bowing somebody, out here on a crossing route. We ain't got to do that, homie. We don't need to do that. Right,
You say a person, or sometimes it's an inanimate object like a camera stand that he dives into. Jorge and Dylan both obviously watched that firsthand, being Raiders fans.
Tomato.
Not me. No, you mean Dylan and Kurt.
Did I say Jorge?
Yes, you did.
Tomato, potato.
Oh yeah, because they're so similar.
They're very similar. I'm sorry, I'm thrown off. I will say, and I love if there's one little, I would say, piece of advice I can give to people of any draft format, not just this and IDP or anything, is go through and look at the rankings they have beforehand, and kind of set your own little queue, because I'm thrown off by the lack of defensive line eligible players that I thought would be on here. And so I'm scrolling deep, and I'm finding the further I scroll, the more names like Cameron Sample I run across that I don't want to see. So I have to pivot a little bit, and it has me worried.
And that'll move up tier group.
Well, and how
like your defensive tackle, that moves up that tier group just that much. If you've got a lesser defensive line, then that's less defensive ends, less in the middle, less interior. So I think that moves the whole defensive line up as a whole. That moves it up. So
Absolutely.
Get those linemen.
Kurt, you were saying?
Well, and how some different formats, like different sites that you use, will have players with multiple eligibility, like D-line, linebacker eligibility, and that for some players to take advantage of, others don't. And so it's always good to pay attention to see what they allow.
Hey Nate, can I
yes,
ask Jorge what he would have done instead of the Peppers pick? Because I'm starting to dig the squad, with Zach Cunningham and Jerome Baker. I say both 100-plus tackle guys, and then you got Bosa on the defensive line. What would you have done instead?
I was clicking on T.J. Watt left and right, and then I realized I had on the screen Q on, and I have no idea how Jabril Peppers got there.
Okay, so you wanted Watt?
I wanted Watt. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Is Watt is he at defensive end in this?
No, he's only linebacker, and that's one of the things.
But we made the
that
points.
drops him down.
But we made the points for sacks a little bit higher, so that way you could still get the benefit of his play on the field from a fantasy perspective in this league.
Right, and like Gary was saying, we're hoping, Gary, is that it is stackable, and so it makes it even more. But then again, the concern is that I preface that with saying we are hoping, which means we really don't know. I'm going to say that this was kind of a hodgepodge of what the hell we did. We got the engineers from RT, because RT Sports had never done an IDP only structure. We're the first for them. So here's a
trial run.
Jorge, as a developer, wouldn't it be easy to add those stats together than it would be to implement something that takes those stats out individually? So what I'm saying is wouldn't it be easier just for them to integrate it all stacking instead of putting in something that takes it out individually? I'm not sure about that side of it, but I know you got a little bit of experience with it.
Me? I have no idea. That's something that's.
I would think so. Right? I mean, just let it be the way it is, and that would be.
So here was the thing that they were talking about. I love the Isaiah Simmons pick there by Jeff Power, by the way.
Yeah, I love it
Jeff,
too.
If you're listening, Jeff, you can jump on with us at any point. I think the one thing they were telling us is that it is harder for them to. Oh man, I hope this isn't which one.
I love the Kenneth Murray pick, Nate.
Thank you very much.
I love the fact round 4 like that.
The key to that whole pick was the fact that when they came out and said that he's going to be running downhill on a lot more plays. I mean, makes me think that with the sack total might, double or triple, which wouldn't be hard.
I'd love to hear Gary's thoughts on Miles Jack when we came back around there, but back to you in the studio. Back to you.
No, Gary, go ahead, man. I think we kind of.
I really think that he showed he can produce. That's why I'll take the chance. It was either him. I'm probably going to stick my foot in my mouth. Oakloon's off is Oakloon off?
He's off the board. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's Gary's guy.
It's between those two. Just looking for some mass production when they're But Jack's got to stay healthy. He's got to be on there. But I probably should have went Oakloon. He's probably safer.
Just wanted to hit on it. That's probably the highest I've seen Jack this offseason, just in my experiences. So just wanted to hit on it, homie.
Yeah, I've been doing it all year. So it's sink or swim, I guess.
I got you.
Hey, I don't think I don't know what the consensus opinion on Jacksonville's offense as a whole, but I get the feeling that Jacksonville's offense is going to be just decent enough to make other teams have to try to be a little bit more aggressive, which I say I like for Miles Jack, but I think some people can make a case that they're behind and they like the idea that other teams are going to run on them and get that tackle.
I think that there's actually a few. a few really. I think Jacksonville is going to be a gold mine in IDP.
Really?
If you own them and they play, I think they're going to see a lot of snaps this year. And I'm a high state. I'm an Urban fan, but I just got this feeling that the defense is going to see a lot of time on the field. It's not because of the offense. It's just they're going to struggle getting off the field.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, it makes sense to me. It's granted, I don't know nearly.
I should have went Oakland. Thanks.
You took Parsons. That's who I wanted.
Jorge's on tilt. He's on 10-second tilt right now.
There you go.
Well, I wanted.
Crap.
Love Alexander Johnson.
Love him this year. I love him. Oh man, I like him so much because the lack of talent next to him. I'm a big Josie Jewell denier, so I think that's more for Alexander Johnson to eat. So big fan. Great fan.
Josie Jewell might not be there too much longer. You got Baron Browning. He's getting back on the field. He's catching up quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be nervous if either one of those two dudes falter in the first few weeks. That they won't hesitate to put Browning in there to give him a little shot at it.
I don't doubt Jewel in that case, but I think AJ's there. I think he's.
Yeah, I think.
I was shocked they cut him and then brought him back. Wasn't that early in the offseason?
Who's that?
Well, didn't they cut AJ early in the offseason?
He would have never cleared waivers. There ain't no chance they cut him.
I thought they did something with him in the offseason.
No, I believe it's only his second year. I believe he's still on his rookie deal.
Wonder if they were to restructure it. I'd love to tell you I know more about the contract negotiations.
In my opinion, he'd have never cleared the waivers. I mean, if you release a guy,
I'm looking here
all the
to
way
see
through. And I mean, you can't tell me that the Kansas City Chiefs wouldn't have picked him up. You can't tell me that Cowboys wouldn't have gave him a run. I mean, he'd have got picked up.
Real quick, just to make sure, Hollywood, I feel bad is not here, and he now has himself. 5 safeties. Now, granted, they are great.
I love it.
Jamal Adams, Jesse Bates, Kevin Byard, Jonathan Abram, and Minka.
I love it.
He's now got his flex spots filled up. The concern that I have for the poor guy is that his defensive line. I hope he does. I hope it doesn't happen, but all the picks are going to happen.
Something tells me that he is drafting. Something back there is like, I think he's doing this.
500 IQ play.
Exactly, no doubt. I'll show you guys. So there's a case to be made on the offensive side.
Yeah.
That some people say that drafting 2 tight ends and using the tight end as your flex spot reduces the overall tight end pool enough that it gives you a competitive advantage. I don't think to the degree of the 5 defensive back. And Doug, by the way, Carrie just came in. She looked around the computer to see what's going on. She can't hear you. I have headphones in, so you're just yelling in my ears right now. But she saw you freaking out, and she thought par for the course. And then, Kurt, about a few minutes ago, you were getting ready to say something. I'm sure it was waxing poetic. Had something to do with how good the Chiefs are?
No. I was when Jorge was saying,
Doug, you're on the clock. 23 seconds.
Gotcha, bro.
I wanted Sweat right before that pick, so I was turnabout there.
I do like Montana Sweat a lot. And then Dylan, was that an auto draft like on accident, or was that
he was first in my queue? I was trying to draft him and couldn't press the button quick enough.
I'm telling you.
So it was a good auto draft.
Was a good auto draft. And Doug took who I was thinking about taking with my last pick, but I needed a defensive back before it got too thin. I love what Chris Jones might do this year.
He needs to do something.
Yeah.
It needs to become more consistent like he like he started out there, like he flashed. He needs to do that.
My concern is not having Frank Clark does hurt the across that defensive line is a little thin, and now with no Willie Gay, this week 1 against Cleveland's going to be rough. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge here. We'll see. What do you think?
What's the name of it? Was it Nick Bolton? Is he going to be stepping into the starting role now that Willie Gay is?
That's what they're thinking. They're trying to get him first team snaps, but there were, the concern is that they want him to be ready with the playbook, and I think he's had enough time that he'll be able to step in. And honestly, if the game goes like I expect, I think it's going to be a heavy dose of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And I think that Nick Bolton could see, honestly, I think we might get a double-digit tackle week 1 out of him.
Oh, been chiming him all off season. Love me.
Who I tell you was my I told you that. Remember about 2 months ago, I think that was my defensive rookie of the year, like long shot, of course. But
yeah, we've been on him, brother.
I just don't want a Willie Gay injury to facilitate that, unfortunately.
I think Tyrann Mathieu helps him out. The savviness, back there behind him. I think that can help a little bit.
Yeah, I do as well. I think Spagnuolo helps all of the defense in general. He was a terrible head coach. Just garbage here in St. Louis. All right, you guys. I'm getting.
All right, Jordan. What you gonna do? I'm gonna say Jordan does the auto draft strategy. This is my strategy.
Oh, you think just take who's best? Is it?
I think he's gonna.
I can see Grady Jarrett right here.
Yeah.
He saving.
He faked us all out. He's faked us all out.
I've got Xavier McKinney right here. Who y'all got?
Exactly. No kidding. Maybe it might be Honey Badger, since he's at the top of the defensive
next
back
on the board.
queue. Yeah. Which,
of course, it's a defensive back. I mean,
of course it is.
God forbid it's anything else.
Actually, the next 3 are all defensive backs. Our scoring must be defensive back heavy, or maybe since the fact RTSports doesn't do a ton of IDP, it's
That's what it is, brother.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, we're making baby steps. I'd like to think we're making baby steps. As myself that's been around for over a decade, it's a totally different world, now than it was with IDP, man.
So, hey, Doug, on that I was talking about with AJ Johnson, he just signed
Tyrann Mathieu
the $3.5 million for this year. I could have swore. What they didn't do is they didn't use a tenure. Maybe they didn't use what's that shit they do in the off season? I'm exhausted. Tenderum or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah,
for picks and
tender.
shit.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe that's what they didn't do, and then they just turned around and signed him. All right, makes sense now.
So he's a little bit further along than I thought he was. So yeah, okay, right on.
I was just trying to think what it was. I knew I had something in my head. I couldn't remember. So yep, clear it up.
So
well, hey, are they going to let Darnell Savage play in the box this year? Or
Look,
are they going to leave him out there?
See, here's the thing that really was impressive for a strong safety. His work in coverage last year was phenomenal. And you look at him and what him and Adrian Amos were able to do in that secondary. I think this is one of the most underrated safety tandems in all of the NFL. And even the small amount of times that they let Savage creep up in the box, the tackle upside was there, but he almost plays like a free safety than a strong safety, to be honest with you. Any additional, moves inside, I think, really can help us tackle upside. I'm a huge fan of his. Yes, I guess you could say I'm biased because he went to Maryland. I went to Maryland. But I really am pretty high on Darnell Savage, and I'm trying to scoop him up everywhere I could possibly get him.
Okay, second question for the panel. Why did Nate take the LB2 for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Did not take the LB2. Did not. I would.
I love you.
It is
fly, Eric Wilson, fly.
And you talked about that, and that was actually kind of ironic that I have Alex Singleton high enough that I didn't want to talk when you mentioned Eric Wilson a little bit. I wasn't going to start a conversation about that and take that away. But I do. I understand. I think Eric Wilson was. Let's put it this way: do we think that he very needed, and neither one of them are going to see a reduction of snaps this year versus last year? Because, like we've talked about, they're going to be bad, and their defense is going to be on that field a lot.
Yeah,
and I think that again, probably one of my biggest faults with some of these drafts for IDP is still not knowing 100% how to formulate a ranking system with some of the scoring settings, as well as like with offense, like certain half points and full points and standard. I can kind of move players up and down. I'm still new enough in IDP. I'm still I'm trying to get to you and Gary and Jorge and.
Oh, now.
I mean, seriously, you guys have been playing quite a bit longer than I have, and
I've never had
a
set scoring. I didn't believe it was possible in my opinion. You got PPR, you got half point PPR, you got tight end premium, you got one QB, you got two QB, you got all of these different offensive leagues and scoring strategies. So why do we just need one in IDP? It's not that way, and you're not going to get the masses to jump on behind that, in my opinion. So, Nate, what I do personally is I go to my leagues, my personal leagues, and like a league that has the most rookies in it, the most beginners. I'll see the way that's set up, and I kind of rank off of the people that are just coming in.
8 seconds, Nate.
I know.
Pull it.
I did it.
Got to pull that trigger, man.
My man crush on Xavier McKinney.
Okay.
Sorry to cut you off there.
No, I know.
I was wrapping up. Yeah.
So on the Twitter thread that we've all been doing,
I'm going to give you a suggestion. If you're going to do IDP, you might want to. I'm not going to crack on this site, but you might want to dive into some MFL, even Sleeper, or Sleeper's gotten a little bit better. I just started playing on. Yeah, I just started playing. I've helped a ton of people over the years. I mean, I bet 95% of the people that reach out to me in the past on DMs and Twitter and stuff, they're wanting help. They're wanting help on Sleeper. And I never play, but I always got to, put me in as a co-owner for a minute. Let me see your waiver wire, because you got to make sense of the shit. They've cleaned that up. So they've also added the LBDL designation, kind of like an edge play, sort of. There's works. We've talked to them, Jeff here at Gridiron Ratings, or at Gridiron Ratings. We've talked to them, and they're hoping to have something like the edge in 2022 or 23. So they're trying, but this is not going to be, from what I've seen so far, the experience that you're going to want to really build on, or you're going to want to go to a site that's a little bit better at IDP drafting and setup here, whether it's best ball or not. That would be my best week, because if you learn on here, then all of a sudden you go over to Sleeper, you go over to MFL. I think it's better to start at a medium or a top and come down than it is to, if you want to get good at it. You don't have the information on this site right here to really get the job done. I apologize. I'm not knocking on it. You said it yourself. They don't do that much on IDP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
no, I agree. And honestly, it goes into a little bit the part of, we have a Twitter DM thread between everybody in this league, and Jordan mentions that he thinks there's some players missing from the player pool.
Guess I got left out of that.
No, I see you on there, and I can tell you maybe not, but regardless, I think that he's correct in that there are some players who are missing from the top 300.
So
Like-
you got to know them. See, that might be where some of these guys
they're not even in the-
They're not in the queue at all.
Oh, damn.
I know.
Well-
like I'm typing
And-
in Shaq Barrett.
And in closing, I would say, in my opinion, sleeper designates defensive line as a whole, putting your defensive tackles and your defensive ends as a whole in the same group. Then they do linebacker, and then they do DB. That's only 3 groups of IDP. Therefore, your beginners kind of to the
Mhm.
sport, maybe start out with that, because what I hear the most is I don't want to do that much more work. I don't want to do
Right.
that much more research. So maybe the beginners maybe start out over at sleeper where they've got it designated as a group, but always, as Gary said, reach out to any of us. My fantasy league's been a sponsor of mine for half a decade now, and you can reach out to me, Gary, and we'll show you how to set up anything you'd like done on myfantasyleague.com. Just because it maybe costs a little bit for the league, don't mean it should shy you away. So,
I'm freezing. What am I going to do? Damn it.
oh God, it's almost my pick.
Well, you're not drafting Zadarius Smith or Shaq Barrett or Khalil Mack, it looks like, just to name some. So, I mean,
I was just
that
looking
was
for
me
Darius
freaking
Smith there on my
out.
last pick.
yeah,
I just freaked out with that one.
let's see, who is it? I haven't seen yet.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm not a big Hendricks
Oh.
fan.
Oh,
So, you know,
I'm not a big Hendricks fan at all. I should have just let it auto pick.
Oh, you would have ended up with Stephon Tuitt, and that I trust that Henderson will have a little better production than Tuitt this year, mostly because he'll probably play in 6 more games at least. I don't have a problem. So here's I don't hate Trey Henderson. I think that the offense is gonna put him in enough position to be able to just kind of, as we say, pin the ear back and get to the quarterback. And his win rate last year was extremely high overall. So it's not like he was a product of luck because anybody on the, Cameron Jordan wasn't forcing a lot of quarterbacks his direction. And I don't know. I think that the biggest
I'm not
concern
super
I
high
have.
on him right now. I actually have an upset stomach because of that pick, but it was me freaking out. And, it was me freaking out. And that was the one name I thought, well, shit. But,
Well,
Oklahoma, you got 15.
Son of a bitch.
So it's one of those things where, obviously we're looking at this draft. We're looking at this draft board, and there
You got K. Jackson.
some Kareem Jackson right there,
Jackson,
Denver
yeah.
Broncos. There's some stuff here at RT Sports that they need
Don't
to
like
do
that turn.
with IDP. But our articles, whether they're on offense or defense, they're going to be here featured on RT Sports. So for those who are trying to get into IDP, you'll be able to access all of our offense and IDP articles here at RT Sports. So they're going to be linked to fantasyandframes.com. So feel free to click on them and hit up Nate, myself, or anybody else here on this panel that we have here participating tonight.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe that anybody that's doing IDP on RT Sports that might run into some of these same situations here with lack of players can then just, click on the link, jump over to our rankings, which are live and active right now for week 1. I need to go back in and check and see where I have Trey Hendrickson ranked, because if Gary hates him, then I might want to reassess
I don't
because
hate him, but I don't love him.
you
Hold
said
your
you had
ground.
an upset
Hey.
stomach. You're taking Tums right now
Yeah.
because of that.
You guys bored?
Never.
All right. My 32 team start set charts are live right now, and we revamped them on Gridiron Ratings. It's a lot different. They're free right now to non-members, but I was wondering if he was interested in going to the pull down, go to the tipster office page and check out that DL chart. You guys, I would be very interested in your opinions on how this chart is, including you, Doug, if you're paying attention anymore.
Under the
looks like he's
redraft
dancing.
rankings. He's always dancing,
He's
which is not
fun.
shocking. Oh, he's talking. It sounds like he's talking to Deborah.
Yeah.
Telling her. I love it. So let me ask, so a couple of the guys that are with us tonight. So Kurt, Dylan, Jorge, I don't know if have you guys actually seen in previous years Gary's rankings over at Gridiron ratings?
I don't rank much. I'm an in-season guy, man. I have 100.
You do though, Gary. Every week you have it's a star-based system. That to me is a ranking system.
Yeah.
It might not be 1 through 50, but if I see that there's a 5-star on a guy, I'm gonna look like it's a Yelp review, and I'm gonna think they must have good fried chicken. I'm gonna check it out just a little bit and see what they have. And if it's 1, I'm probably gonna pass.
Yeah. Well, so you have used my charts before?
Last year.
Okay.
I must have won. I won something because I don't remember paying.
You might have been in a tipster league or something, or you reposted. So yeah, it's hard to tell. You'll want to check them out this year, dude. They're free right now. You're going to want to check out the new charts. That's why if you can check them out now, because we have flipped them. Everything that I've always done, the 5-step formula in my head on pencil and paper, taking 25, 30 hours a week to do this, no lie, over the last forever, has all now been automated. It'll be totally updated. We, Jeff D'Amato of Gridiron Ratings, we got our heads together and we have built sheets after sheets running all this. That's what I was curious if anybody would be interested in taking a look at them. Tell me what you think. These are brand new. These are nothing like I've ever done before. I'm going to spend maybe 12 hours a week on these charts instead of 25 or 30.
Where do you go on Gridiron Ratings to pull them down, Gary?
Yeah, the IDP pull down, tipster office.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I think we're getting to the part of the draft here where it's becoming a little more challenging, since I believe there are players missing from the pool.
Now that I'm unmuted, shout out Jeff D. Mateo. What up, homie?
Yeah. Dig deep, fellas. If we're missing players, dig deep.
Some of them can be found, I think, if you look into the individual, like linebacker.
Man.
Oh, yes.
Some of them, I don't know how many, but some of them. You didn't hear from me.
I like this guy.
Did you see my Amani Hooker? My Amani Hooker pick? He was clear down to 2,079 on their list. Had anybody looked up Hooker? Vaccaro used to make a decent living there.
Have y'all just been doing if you just go to that one?
So all these names that we were saying that are not there, keep looking. They're still there. They're there.
You just can't search for them.
Right. Correct.
Oh, are you serious? You can't search for them?
I should have waited to say that after my next pick.
You got to go now.
And I got to take fucking Terrell Edmonds. Oh,
they're there.
All right, I'm searching by last name then. There we go.
Fellas,
no, you have to scroll through the list.
I can't prioritize by last name?
No.
It goes from 95 to 1,984.
To be fair, they have Paul Posluszny still here.
1,000 players.
Paul Posluszny, if they keep all Penn State players active from 1987 up until present day. Let's probably do, holy shit, it is right there. You're not joking.
Nope.
Anybody else see this? Is it just me? It goes from 95 to 1,000.
Yeah.
984.
Good luck with your 60-second clock, everybody. This is going to turn into a.
Can't change it. Can't change that, huh? Give some Geritol time. I got cramps, man. I can't.
I like the challenge.
I do too. Except I get.
I ain't never kind of did this.
But I get stuck.
Let's go.
I was like, look, James Laurinaitis. That's a cool name. Mark Barron. I haven't seen that name in a while.
Right.
James Lord. Isn't he
James
like coaching
Laurinaitis.
linebackers in Philly or something? Like, what's he doing now? Is he still playing
I
football?
don't know.
Who?
Let me know if you find Lyle Alzado.
Laurinaitis.
I did. He's at
I think if you scroll
Laurinaitis.
far enough, you can draft Luke Kuechly after all.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure you can
Oh,
get
my
James
goodness.
Laurinaitis at any Bass Pro Shops in the LA area.
Fellas, I'm going to step away for a minute. I'll be back.
No problem. I'm going to be spending the next hour looking through people's names. This sucks.
I got to change my catheter.
Wow. This. I mean, I'm glad that at least they're there, you know?
It doesn't make me feel better.
I'm fixing to cook a pizza on the grill. So, what are y'all doing? How many rounds is this, Bub?
This is round 8 of 16.
How do I set a pre-draft whenever it goes from 95
to 1892?
1,000?
Good year.
1892. True.
And 84. I was
Wow.
I was 1 year old.
Pick number 1892. Shaq Barrett heads.
Scrosh got a baby face. When was you born? How old are you, Scrosh?
1997. Greatest year.
1997.
That's the year I graduated high school. Dylan?
Damn. Is that you?
Wait,
the year
Daddy?
you born?
Yeah.
Hey, that ain't funny.
That is kind of funny.
Too close to home.
I am probably I'm the oldest person at Rasball and the oldest person at Fantasy and Frames. I'm not liking the wait, Ken's older than me, isn't he, Jorge?
Do what now?
But
Ken's older
you're
than
the
I am, isn't he?
Ken's older than you, yeah.
Yeah, suck it.
But you're the youngest at the potluck at the used car sales, right?
I wish. I'm probably one of the oldest at the dealership too.
At the dealership, really?
Yeah,
Hey,
I've been there.
Where can I
Probably-
put an app in?
Go to, just send a P sample over to bomberito-mazda.com.
Excuse me? Back that up. Hey, Scrosh is still killing this draft, by the way. Okay, back
Yeah,
to
because he knew how to find people.
I found him. That's the youth computer knowledge.
Who, Khalil? Oh,
Hey,
He's
Kurt
there.
Cobain getting.
Oh,
hey,
no,
Kurt
it was-
Cobain. Yeah.
man, I didn't know I was even on the clock again. And I got all to pick JPP.
Me
Well,
neither.
why don't you quit talking. Quit talking.
Damn it.
It didn't show it on my draft screen.
Son of a bitch.
It's
I mean,
very
it's not a
okay.
horrible. For linebacker, yeah, no, yeah. If he was
Yeah, it sucks for
defensive lineman
linebacker.
eligible, yeah.
It's a flex
Oh,
play. So maybe
hey,
he has
there's-
3 sacks his first week and I don't have to worry about him again.
It is best ball.
Look. It says Q on or off. That's where you pre-draft.
I have my queue off. And I just didn't. I have them set. I have a queue set of people that
We're
I've found.
learning together.
Like I have names like X, Y, and Z that I didn't know were even on here anymore. I assumed they were all drafted.
Yeah.
I'd move somebody to Q, and I think it switched me to auto draft as well. That's why I didn't show up on my end.
I
How
just
come
wasn't
the
paying
top
attention.
300 only shows 96?
Hey, when you go look at your roster after you select these people who you had to scroll down for, do you actually see them pop up in your starting slots? Like I just picked Romeo Arquara, and I
Yeah.
don't see him in my starting slot at all.
Hey,
Is he down
are
on your
you-
bench?
Nope.
They're on mine. I had to click on desktop mode.
Unreal. See,
so
look-
here's the good news: is Dylan, this was free to you and free to me and free to everybody else, except the time that you spent doing this. You'll never get back.
You'll never
in your
get
life.
back.
No,
Nope.
never.
ever.
But we're going to learn this together, and we're not going to beat up and badmouth RTSports, one of the greatest sites in the history of the world. Please go to
I wasn't doing that.
rtsports.com.
I wasn't doing that.
Nobody was.
No,
It's shit happens. This is a learning experience, and this is how we all. This honestly, this is probably the best thing that could have happened for them.
Yeah, exactly. Learning for those who are watching and those listening, this is like learning on the fly how people are like handling their drafts, like, without any.
Man, ain't nobody had a draft like this. No one has to scroll to 2,875 to find the defensive line number 6.
Like Khalil Mack.
Looking. You don't have to search at 3,000 for Patrick Mahomes. He's not below Dan Marino.
I've done zoned in. I've done locked in right here. Here we go. How come I can't click on show more?
I don't know. You can't do that. You can't. It's not allowed. You got to just keep scrolling.
You have to switch to the individual positions.
I love you, RT Sports. Is that what it is?
That is
RTSports.com. Yep.
Love you guys.
Site's brought to you by Carpal Tunnel. That's what I will have at the end of this scroll.
Reading glasses. This is brought to you by reading glasses.
We're literally scrolling through 2,000 players at a time at each position, trying to.
I see more. Anybody that tries to fool any of us with names, they'll be like, I think R.J. McIntosh from New Orleans is a good play. I'm like, yeah, I do too. Owner.
He was ranked 1,692. How could he be bad?
Exactly.
You couldn't have picked a better name.
And the problem is, his name's not McIntosh. It's McIntosh. We have friends whose last names are McIntosh. Somehow Wade got auto-picked and didn't even pick him a team player. Didn't pick him a player. And Gary gets louder milk.
Don't that sound
Gary's like, I'm out. I'm out.
Hey, there's another aisle at Walmart. They sell McIntosh. It's over there by the bathrooms. You just got to keep going through electronics.
Exactly.
And right there on the other side, they got them McIntosh TVs.
Oh my God.
Back to you in studios, Karosh.
Hey, Dylan, I found Max Crosby.
Yes, so did I.
Is he between 1,892 or?
Nope.
Did you have to
Before
call
that.
John Gruden?
He had to
Mr. Mayock, I'm going to need a favor.
Right, exactly.
Hey, what's up, Mikey? This is Oklahoma's Doug, just trying to get Max Crosby here on my.
How did you, Doug? You didn't even get anybody. How did that happen?
Well, I was trying to go with Vernon Butler and Dean.
But
Lowry.
it didn't even pick anybody for you. It just
Yeah,
skipped
it
you.
did.
It doesn't show me on the draft board.
Oh, well, they call me Dean Lowry.
Oh, there it is. Oh, so on that board it is, but when I look on my board, like on my main page, it skips over.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
this is
Yeah,
back
Nate, I was having to
This
refresh my
is-
screen too, Nate.
hey, back to
super
my
painful.
picks. The Q don't work. Don't use that shit. That don't work, okay? So take that out of your mind. That don't work because anybody that knows me knows that I probably wouldn't have went Vernon Butler and Dean Lowry right there, okay?
That was Dean
So,
Lowry, by the way.
back to you in studio, Mike Lowry. All right.
Well, the good thing, Kurt, you mentioned you're wearing a Charles Woodson jersey. You probably can find him on here.
Exactly.
That's what I said earlier. Let me know if you see Lyle Alzado.
Yeah. Sean Lee still right there in the top 15.
See, Kurt, Dylan is born in 97. Lyle Zato
Oh, yeah, good
was
point.
retired in 87.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
you might as well used a
hey,
Yeah, I thought Lyle Zeta
laptop's
was
about
in
to
the
go dead.
Walmart aisle
Hey,
next to
I mean,
the other guy.
Oh, shit.
He is.
Oh, shit.
He works at Walmart, actually. He's the one pointing you in the direction of the McIntosh computers, telling you
So-
what bathroom's at.
So my dog had to go out, right? So I took my laptop. Wi-Fi should work right outside, right?
Oh, God.
I'm sitting there staring at the screen. It's like, man, I ain't moving. Next thing I know, yeah, I refresh. I'm like, what? Oh, should have just let him. No, I couldn't let him go in the house. But damn, that was costly.
I mean, your dog peed in the house has scored more points than Loudermilk will probably score.
Best ball.
All right, I think we're just going to talk to RT, and they're going to let us do I think everybody gets a free entry into some type of contest. Because, I think everybody's like, this is very interesting to say the least. But now that we figured it out, what's going to be crazy is rounds 1 through 5 were solid. 6 through 9,
a mess.
Garbage shoot. Loudermilk, Dean Lowry. And then rounds like 10, rounds 10 through 15 are going to be like Shaq Barrett,
Keanu Neal.
Keanu Neal. Exactly.
I'm about to draft Keanu Neal if I can get
Jones. Oh, shit. I hope
Is Shaq Barrett still on the board?
Shaq Barrett is still on the board.
Yeah.
Who knows where is the question.
I can tell you. Just shut your mouth, Jorge.
Uh-oh.
Here's my queue right now, by the way, in no particular order. Shaq Barrett, Bradley Chubb, Zadarius Smith, Willie Gay, Juwan Bentley, Logan Wilson, Devondre Campbell, Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, Kwity Paye, Draymond Jones, Akeem Spence, DJ McIntosh, Charles Mahinu, Al Woods, Eli Howard, Tommy Tagaya. Those are all players listed above.
Tommy Tuta.
Those are all players listed above the players that I actually have on my queue, the last 2 or 3.
This is painful. But you know what? It is a learning.
I don't think that I'm going to win that entry.
You know what? Our teams are going to be so equally bad that maybe it'll be super competitive. And it'll be a lot closer than you think. Watch Hollywood, though, take away the title with all these defensive.
Oh, exactly. That was the plan. He knew it. He's like, you idiots. Now he just scrolling the market.
He's already counting his money.
Exactly. He's just going to grab all the Shaq Barretts and Zadarius Smiths of the world and just count his cash.
Exactly.
I don't even know who I got. Who's Loudermilk?
Gary, if you don't know who Loudermilk is, I quit because I have no clue.
Let's see. And then I also got Jonathan Greenard.
Nate, you're
Houston.
I'm up.
Who?
Nate, you're up.
Freak me out.
Yeah,
like
Nate,
that,
you're
man.
up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know.
This is interesting. All right. Scrolling through 2,399 defensive backs so far. Okay. Here we go. Let's find out who we got left. Wow.
These poor guys are like, dude, I can't even scroll past 99. I'm like, just keep scrolling.
If only they know.
Yeah, Guru to use _DFS in our chats. Like, it just keeps skipping over me. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, I don't know what else to say.
He's like the Minnesota Vikings of the draft. He just doesn't get his card in time. And they're like, nope, on to the next team.
Exactly.
You better pick your player who you want soon.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see here. So you went with Shaq Barrett there, Nate. Okay.
Thank you. Yes, I did. Shaq Barrett in the 10th round, I feel in an IDP best ball format was decent value. Yes. I was really, really on tilt when I didn't get Isaiah Loudermilk.
Oh my God.
His name is Isaiah. Holy shit, I was making that up. Yeah, he's a rookie out of Wisconsin, 6'7", 290. It's a monster.
Well, I feel no better than I did before you told me that. So
watch Isaiah Loudermilk have an epic year this year, and you're going to be eating those words.
I think that'd be awesome.
Defensive rookie of the year, Isaiah Loudermilk.
Exactly. We'll remember this.
That jersey. The winner should get that jersey too. I don't know.
I agree.
I don't know if
RT Sports make that happen.
Exactly. How about Isaiah Loudermilk? You'll have extra jerseys that no one else will buy. If you're listening, please send it to us. Send it to Gary Van Dyke at IDP Tipster on Twitter.
We'll take 12.
Exactly.
Right. This is funny.
That would be awesome. Are you? So it's.
Somebody got Bud Dupree. Dylan. Of course you did.
So Jeff Power. I want to see Jeff's team because.
Do you think Jeff wants to see his team?
Well, here's his team. Joey Bosa, Sam Hubbard, Devin White, Kenny Clark, Jayon Brown, Isaiah Simmons, Logan Ryan, Justin Simmons, L'Jarius Sneed, John Bostic. More defensive backs. I just wonder if he knows the way this is set up. Because I look at my team and I don't have a terrible team. I'm not disappointed. I don't really want Terrell Edmonds necessarily, but, it is what it is.
Based off the options you had at the time.
Considering my queue right now is a little bit better than.
Yeah,
than that.
I'm starting to put some things together too. It's like, okay, let's see what we got here.
Wish I had more defensive line to choose from.
Right?
Defensive line sucks really bad. I don't have time to go through everybody. I'm worried that I'm just going to get timed out, so I have to kind of like take it to the.
You got 30 seconds left.
I know. I'm watching. Thank you, though.
You're welcome. Man, this is
Yeah,
bites. Just kind of bites.
Yep.
Yeah, this really tests you if you want to go into a draft unprepared for IDP. Any new IDP players? Good freaking luck. Have fun with this.
Yeah.
Because you are screwed.
Does that make sense? What I told you earlier?
Yes, it does. 100%.
That you should. Yeah, this would just be like this wouldn't help nobody.
No.
You better know your shit and really be fast at typing and not set the clock for 30 or 60 seconds.
Okay.
This is
For
actually
some reason it's showing that Jeff Parr is on the clock when I guess I'm on the clock.
So you actually have to like refresh again somehow. I don't know why exactly, but you are on the clock, Dylan. You have 35 seconds.
the stream. The
Nope.
stream.
Now you have 50 something. Oh no, you took Bradley Chubb. You're good. That's solid. He was next in my queue actually.
I'm just going for the best players I could find at this point.
Pretty much.
I don't have enough defensive linemen on my team, and I don't
Yeah,
know
it's just
anybody
like
else.
find them, go fishing.
That's the problem. I was like, Quiddy Pay, I know is gonna do play. Is just playing an option at this point? Anybody?
Who?
Exactly. Well, I said Quiddy Pay, who I like actually a lot. Gary, where do you have Quiddy Pay at?
As a rookie.
As a rookie? Fair enough.
He's not a big rookie guy.
Yeah, I'm not a big rookie. I believe they're luxuries and we should be treated that way. If they work out, that's great year one. But I wasn't really high on this class, and really I'm still not. But he's at least he's going to be starting. He's going to see a lot of reps. So that's cool. He's a rookie, so you can't bet on him. He would be a great guy for first guy off the bench starting the season. And if he hits, then you hit the lottery. Your luxury won.
Fortunately, he's my number 2 defensive lineman because I don't have any other defensive linemen because everybody else is only linebacker eligible. At
this point, you could do worse.
Oh, I definitely could do worse. That is very true.
It's not over. I'll probably do worse.
Well, I mean, now that we know what to do, it's very interesting.
I think you're right. What you said from the 7th round on, I think it's going to look a lot better than the early ons.
Yeah, no one should.
Him.
Who's that?
I'm not going to tell you right now. I'll tell you after I draft him if he's still there.
Well, you drafted him, Deron Payne.
No, not him. I just found somebody else that I wanted to add to my queue. So I'm like,
crap. They'll never come back to me.
All of these names. This is great.
It's like we finally. It's like there was nothing but. Go ahead.
Does Hollywood take a linebacker? Yay or nay?
I think he has to. I mean, come on. This draft thing can't be that screwed up that it won't let him take anything bad.
Never say never.
Yeah, never
say never is exactly right. Dum dum dum. And Chad Thomas. Dude, that's like the most. That is the name that they come with on Madden 22.
The generic.
For the pre-made generic name. Just
America.
Just a white guy that's like 6 foot 210 and just turning around. Number 13 somehow.
See what Jordan. Let's see if he's still in this.
Oh, damn it. And of course, when I switch back and forth from one page to the next, it makes me restart all over from my queue or the numbers I was on. And I was down into the 1700s, which I really thought there was good value down there.
I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care anymore, man. I'm just going to type some names in. If they're there, I'm taking their asses.
There you go.
I'm not, I done lost. My dog cost me.
That's
like I said, dog ate my homework.
Right, exactly. is that Gary Van Dyke's team? His team sucks. Why are we
Yeah.
subscribing to that gridiron ratings?
All right.
I want a refund.
So I'm on the clock.
Yes, you are.
See, now this is weird because it was actually like nowhere near being on the clock. All right, here we go.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I had to refresh or I would have missed it.
I'm scared to refresh because I don't want my queue to get all messed up. I'm already down.
I took the chance to refresh it, and it filled in all my spots. So if anybody
Well,
has
I don't mean the
concern-
queue. I mean,
same here. It took a
where I'm
second
at.
for my queue to reload, but they all came back up.
yeah.
Well, my queue is
Why
one
didn't
thing.
it take?
What's crazy, and I'll say this in all sincerity, is that I draft on RT Sports a lot. I mean, I have probably 10, 15 teams per sport every year, and I've never had an issue, anything close to resembling this. So clearly this is an IDP, I don't want to say only, but an IDP scenario that can use addressing. So thank you, everyone on here, for being part of a beta test. You will not be compensated for your time nor your energy.
If you're the winner, and
If you're the winner, you will be. Yeah, but if you're the winner,
who's the jersey of the NFL player we're going to reach out to on Twitter? What's his
Loudermilk.
his name's
Why
Isaiah.
isn't it letting
How do
me
you forget
draft?
that name?
You got Cole Holcomb. Okay, Isaiah. I'm gonna write this down. So
I'm looking up his jersey right now to see if we can actually order it.
Is that two H's in Isaiah?
It looks like there is two H's.
Okay, it's not letting me.
His name is Isaiah Loudermilk.
Let's somebody please find out who's there.
Am I still on the clock, fellas?
No, you're not. It's
Who in the hell did I get?
You got
I'm
Cole
still
Holcomb.
showing-
Jenkins and Cole Holcomb.
Okay. Well, it's still showing me I'm on the clock with that second pick with 47 seconds left.
I think
No.
Jordan's on the clock right now, correct?
Yes,
No?
Jordan's on the clock.
Okay. Yeah, I refreshed and it still went. It just restarted the clock for me. But I don't know. There's
This is
now
good.
Hollywood's on, right?
Hollywood's on the clock.
Yeah, that's the third refresh. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Oh, I found Isaiah Loudermilk jerseys.
And how much?
Oh, you know they're not gonna be cheap. I can't. I don't find some backwoods
Loudermilk.
Are they making Loudermilk jerseys in China yet?
That's what I actually probably that's what's gonna take me to.
Are they making chocolate Laudermilk yet?
Oh, there he is.
Nope. Here's they don't even give you the choice. They're just like, hey, why don't you create your own name since you really don't want this? You obviously clicked here on accident. $37.99 for a T-shirt with his name on it through Fanatics. If you go to Steeler
Hollywood
Gear
go
Shop,
linebacker. Wait, no, does Hollywood go linebacker? Does he?
there's no chance. He's already got enough. Chad Thomas was his last pick. That's clearly all he needs.
Wow.
Oh, I don't know what to say.
Who the hell's T. Murphy? And why is the
Trent,
picture of
Trent
like a
Murphy,
60
former
Oh, shit,
Washington
my
and
pick.
Buffalo Bill.
This is
I was looking for Zadarius Smith.
Found him. Found him.
What number was he?
1465 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Under linebackers.
Yeah. Yep, going in my flex. Going in my flex.
Son of a bitch.
Thank you.
Sorry, everybody. That was right into the microphone.
Still got some DL people here. This is good. I like this.
You do? Because I don't.
I got a few here. I got one in particular. Damn it, Kurt.
I'll trade you.
Josh Sweat.
Ugh,
You talked about Josh Sweat a little bit.
we did.
It mentioned that imagine if he gets a full load of snaps. Look what he did last year in limited. All right, so here we go. So come on, defensive line. I need you to be good. Or do I just go linebacker again? Say screw it.
So who's on the clock right now?
I am.
Nate
Nate
is.
is.
He has 30 seconds left.
It still shows Hollywood's on mine.
Let me go there, right there. I don't know if it showed. Did I take somebody?
Draymond Jones.
Draymond Jones. Yes.
Who?
He is the defensive end for the Denver Broncos. He actually had a good year last year.
Okay.
And I think he's going to get significant snaps this year.
All right.
I will tell you, I'm going to predict, my guesstimation is that he has 9.5 sacks this year.
Who?
Draymond Jones.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I know it's going to be tough. That wouldn't
That's
be a bold
gonna be
prediction
tough.
if it was.
Right.
But
Oh,
you're
yeah.
right.
It's going to be tough.
I know. I just hope that I think that defense as a whole, hopefully with Chubb and Von Miller healthy the entire year, that means he.
If he gets 9, that means Von Miller and Bradley Chubb didn't really have a good year. That's what I think I would take for him with that interior. Even Shelby Harris, the other defensive end for the Denver, running that 3-4. Yeah, that interior DE. I mean, there's only a couple of them like Tuitt and Hayward and a few, that play in that position that can really make it pay off. And then there's still not what you would call double-digit sack guys,
Right.
It's just tough. So, I mean, anything's possible, but it'll be tough for him. He's really, I mean, I like the kid. I like his opportunity if he gets a lot more playing time and, and stay out there, but that's tough. You said 9.5, right?
9.5 is what I feel like because he had 7. He had 7 last year.
Well,
and that was missing what, 4 games?
What I say, Miller and Chubb would both have to have bad seasons this year. Well, neither one. Miller wasn't around last year, and Chubb didn't actually light the world on fire. So left some meat on the bone there for him.
The last time those two guys were on the same field together, both of them had double-digit sacks. Let's say they stay both on the field at the same time again this year. Is that inside the realm of possibility, or do you think Chubb kind of pulls ahead of Miller here in this performance for the Broncos?
I heard Miller come out looking really strong in camp, like old day Miller. So, I mean, kind of hard to. Right. I think he lost his step, but he, a year off. I don't know. I'm not overly impressed with Chubb. I never really have been. So, of course, I don't know, man. I couldn't imagine. I would have to say one of them will not have double digits. One of them will be short. I don't know which one.
Yeah, I don't think that's too crazy to say. I mean, it's been when's the last time they both had double digits sacks? What, 3 years ago? Is that right?
3 or 4, yeah, one of the two.
Would have like 10, 11 or 11, 12. What was it?
Right.
Something like that,
yeah.
Nothing crazy, but
I mean, for both guys to get them, I mean, that was the impressive part about it.
Right. I think that's what we've all been waiting for to happen again. And I think that's why everybody's talking about Denver's defense being so high this year. I think everybody's kind of anticipating them both being healthy. And I would say, I mean, don't get me wrong, between Simmons and the rest of the secondary and that interior line is able to get penetration.
If they can stay healthy, as a group and they start chiming, they're going to be a force.
That secondary is starting to build itself back up for what it was a couple of years ago.
Well, as long as you got Simmons anchoring it, doesn't matter.
Right, exactly.
I mean, I took personally, but still, though, yeah, they're improving. And if they got that pass rush going on, that helps the secondary tremendously.
Yeah. I still think they were crazy for not taking a quarterback, personally,
What, Teddy Bridgewater not taking him to the Super Bowl, man? I just picked him up last pick in a draft yesterday because,
it's a 3-quarterback league, and
I hate to break it to you, Gary, but
yeah, it was kind of deep. Actually, this is the funny thing is it was like the next to last pick actually that I took Teddy Bridgewater, and this was just because I needed a second QB, and I was like, looked again, and there's Garoppolo. Well, that didn't work. What happened?
Devondre, I didn't know I was on the clock. I was looking through, and I mean, I don't hate Devondre Campbell, but I don't love Devondre Campbell.
Yeah. I mean,
it is the 13th round.
I know. That's why
we're powering through. We're powering through, folks.
Which is where Clarence Farrell should have went in the actual NFL draft based on production. So
13th round.
Right, yeah. Exactly.
Well, hey, they got rid of Paul Gunther. Maybe Gus Bradley can unlock something.
Sure. He gets to go up against Leatherhide all day. Alex Leatherwood. Yeah. Every day. I mean, that's not going to get you in the best shape of your career.
What will?
What exactly? What will? What will?
Did you see my original team name on here, Nate? It was the Darius Hayward Bay fan club.
Yes, I did see that.
Party of one.
Party of half of one.
All right. Feeling pretty good about that. I'm actually having a lot of fun now that I actually know where to go look for these players. It's like, all right.
It's like a scavenger hunt in a draft.
Yeah, no, it really is. It is a lot of fun.
There you go. Great minds.
Look at I found you. I found you. I found you. All right.
But make sure that I'm looking at this right, because all right. So how many more rounds we got?
4,
3.5. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5. Why do I got 4 bench spots on the flag? Oh, because I'm at the end of the round.
So there should only be I don't know why it's showing. So I take that back. I know why it's showing 4 flex spots is because the engineers went in and changed that this is a defense only, an IDP only, and yet it still occupies 1 offensive IDP, but we eliminated that from the roster position. I have no clue how the last round's going to happen. My guess is all of our computers are going to blow up simultaneously, and no drafts are going to
just going to melt.
Send us to a better place, hopefully.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed myself, though.
That's
good.
good. It's about the company that you keep.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, it's
Yes,
been
it
great
is.
drafting with all of you.
Yeah.
I've had a great time.
Yeah. This is stupid. Every time I get to the very bottom to see finally into the 2300s, which is ridiculous to find some players' names, and I'm like, there you are.
Is
I
it
have to
wrong?
refresh.
Is it wrong that I wish my dog had to pee again?
Exactly.
Plausible deniability.
Right, exactly.
Oh.
I didn't mean to take actually I was going to say this guy's name because it's long and goofy sounding, but I really like him. He's a rookie, so I know you won't like him, Gary. But
Okay, did I pick my guy? So I'm on the clock again.
You got Clowney, your first guy, and now you're back on the clock again.
All right. Jeez.
where the hell did you find Jadeveon Clowney at?
He's on the list. He's there. You have to look for these people.
Oh, I know you have to look for him. I'm down into the 2383s right now.
Well, talk to me when you get to the 2600s, okay? All right.
Exactly.
I'm freezing again.
You have 30 seconds left.
All right, let's go down there and just get some freaking Yahoo.
There you go.
I wish we were drafted on Yahoo. Sorry, RTSports. I'm kidding. I don't mean that at all. I'm joking. Yahoo sucks. Sorry, Yahoo, if you're listening. I think you're awesome.
I'm almost excited to see who I get.
9 seconds left, Gary. 9 seconds.
When I miss this.
I know. Oh, you don't want to know because it takes you to the top names that are on the board. It's not going to random auto draft you pick.
Isaiah
24,
Loudermilk. I'm going to remember this one.
I am always going to remember Isaiah.
We're going to say we're going to.
I'm mad I don't have him now, honestly.
So at the bottom of the defensive line or the defensive backs, I've made it to the end. It's kind of like reaching the Goonies treasure. I feel like saying, "Hey, you guys," real loud, and yet I don't know a single name. Thank you.
All right. Well, that's just like I didn't want it. But
exactly.
I got a good bargain on Clooney. It just cost me 2 picks to get him.
Yeah.
Carl Nassib, look at that. The Raiders and
Yeah,
full effect.
Well, the way that those guys play, and I'm not even going to say his name. I'll butcher it. But Crosby didn't show. Somebody's got to do something. I don't know why they don't give him more playing and Nassib more playing time. Anyways, he did better than most of them last year.
He did, actually.
But it's not who I wanted. Not sure who I wanted. It's like I got brain freeze. I should have just went with a dark horse.
I mean, shit, you have but 4 dark horses. Isn't Loudermilk enough of a dark horse? I mean,
one that I meant to pick.
That makes more sense. Yeah, I don't know. So Guru asked a great question. I have 13 of 12 starters and 1 bench. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how this game's going to go. We're going to have 13 of 12 starters, a couple bench players. Don't know exactly who's going to be on the starting lineup each week. It might be reverse. Maybe it's the lowest scoring team that we're going to produce is going to win. It's like the Raz. Dylan, were you reading Razball from the beginning? You would have been about 4, I'm guessing. So probably not.
My parents might have read it to me in my crib.
As you were sleeping, they're like, oh, Dylan, the goal of this is to pick baseball players that are actually the worst at their position, and you have to start a lot. That's how it started. So an actual format of Razball is you start the worst starting lineup, but they have to reach certain like innings thresholds and pitching thresholds. So you can't just pick players that are hurt or out or not even on rosters. You have to pick, we'll say, like Matt Carpenter for the Cardinals is a terribly actual example. Kurt, you will agree, correct?
Oh, yeah, it's like 167 batting average. They keep trying to run him out there. Yeah.
Correct. Throw him out, and he's hitting 4th, which is perfect because that's what you want. You want low contact, low power, high strikeout, middle of the order type guy. And
yeah, because when you're playing the Dodgers and trying to make the playoffs, it's good to bench Paul Goldschmidt and start Matt Carpenter.
Correct. You have it. This is the audition. You didn't know that. This is actually, we have 32 MLB GMs on the line with us right now. You have passed all of their credentials.
It's actually kind of funny that you mentioned that Razball was initially a format to draft the lowest scoring players. I didn't even know that, but if you read my Razball articles and took the advice, you'd probably do pretty well in that format anyway.
See, that's a savant for you. You didn't know how
I didn't even know.
If you look for any injury, I can't wait to see my IDP waiver wire picks for fantasyandframes.com, because if it follows any of my baseball picks, everybody will be hurt by the time I hit enter or publish. It happened about once or twice a week. So hopefully, I'm talking to you, Isaiah Loudermilk. Do not get into my queue because you will be injured in about 2 minutes. And I picked Marcus Davenport, huh? Ugh.
I mean, there were some good reports. Okay, all right. I'm trying to make the best of a bad situation. What do you want me to do? There's a good press coming out of camp with him. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, he's
He needs
starting.
to.
He needs to.
You know how much draft capital they put in his butt
to move up and get him? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, they gave away like a barn and a car, maybe a goat or 2 with it, just to get him. And
then what do they do this year? They go and draft another defensive end with high draft capital.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have to pay Hendrickson. I want to see Hendrickson do it before I really start. When I remember when he first signed, and I was looking at rankings coming out by people, and I'm looking, I'm like, wow! All of a sudden, he's supposed to be a borderline DL1 lock rank. I just have a hard time doing that, or DE1. Yeah, I've got a hard time believing that. Let's see what he can do out there on his own. He played. I almost wonder if his situation was the Davenport and the rest of that line was pretty damn good last year, and was it a matter of everybody else getting blocked and he just was getting free? He would play on the inside, I'm having a hard time giving him all the credit that some people have. I'm a prove it guy though, so I don't know.
No, I mean I think that's fair.
Well, Nate, you were mentioning his win percentage against blocks was actually pretty high, so it wasn't a case of just people.
Well, it's like Carl Lawson. You know, he just had all kinds of almost sacks.
Right. And that can happen. I mean,
right.
That's, if I'm going to gamble at an underlying stat or any type of information that can be given to me,
right.
If I can find a person who has a consistently high win rate each year, the law of averages have to play out that eventually he's going to get the sacks. The sacks are going to come his direction. Okay. Yeah. Who the hell do I do here? All right.
I am having so much fun right now. Oh my God.
I know. This is the rotate. All right, Gary, here's the rotational piece right here that I thought it's year 2. There's so many pieces moving through, but their defense line I like a lot. Is AJ Epinesa going to actually be a viable option this year? And let's see. Maybe I got to have defensive linemen. I mean, I guess because in best ball.
You're talking about the Buffalo dude?
Yep.
The rookie.
Local kid, too.
Yeah.
Rookie?
He's not a rookie. He's a second-year defensive end out of Iowa.
Yeah, right. I was getting ready to say somebody needs to get Jerry and Madison off the field. Addison. Yeah, get Addison. Those guys are just mediocre.
Mario Addison.
Yeah, those start and sit charts that I do every year, man. Those two have never lived up to the matchup. They can have a prime matchup and still bust. They can play a team that just got done giving up 6 sacks in the last 3 contests, and they'll get 0. They won't even touch the guy. They need to do something about that pass rush in Buffalo. So either him or these 2 rookies that they got this year, great opportunities.
Right.
Or either that or maybe Buffalo just don't like pass rush. I don't know.
I mean, it's Trevon Moehrig, Jorge. Very nice. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. That's one of the teams that I worry about for the Chiefs advancing deep is Buffalo and consistent pass rush. The problem I've run into with Epinesa and the rest of those guys is that I don't know if I think with this carousel of defensive ends, I think it limits that upside because they're just going to stay healthy and hungry the entire game, the entire season.
Did you just pick them?
I took Epinesa, yeah. I liked him going in last year.
They need to do something. They need to give somebody an opportunity up there to do something.
I'm not sure that I should always go with the high motor guy, but that's kind of what he is. At least he was at Iowa. And,
I don't know that much about him. If he was a rookie last year,
yeah,
then I don't know nothing about him. If it's not surfing.
he was dead to me.
I love
second-year
guys, but they got to show their first year for me to.
Right. And so what he did, he started off sparingly. Like I say, he played 17 snaps, 25 snaps, 25, 10, 15. Then like around week 12 on, he never played less than 20 snaps, which is still not a defensive line exclusively. I mean, overall, he ended up playing, he was in on 30 snaps every week from weeks 12 on. And then he played as high as 69 in week 17. And so he was getting the time and the opportunity. It's just, if you look at overall, it took him until really those later weeks till you saw any pressures consistently. And he did. He had, 20 total pressures, but the majority were towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
And then that the game against KC, I unfortunately remember, and that he was in the backfield quite often. Mm-hmm. And so we'll see. I don't know. I feel like we're all just taking garbage time players at this point right now.
Whatever.
Kurt, Dylan. Kurt, I was going to ask you, Christian Wilkins. I mean, we remember how he was in college, that he had a huge, I don't know if it was his senior or his junior year, and then parlayed that into the first week 1, I guess they were playing New England last year, and I think he had 2 sacks against Cam and like 4 hurries, or he had a huge week to start off, if I'm not mistaken.
I've got him in our dynasty league.
Oh, he's garbage. I'd drop him. Dylan, let's look at your team, bud. So
let's do it.
Obviously, like I said, you start off with Blake Martinez. Good chance that he could pretty much. I mean, he could lead the league in tackles. I don't think that's outside the realm of possibilities. Aaron Donald is, there's that. Exactly. Is there a correlation between Defensive Player of the Year and fantasy relevance? I mean, depending upon the scoring, but it's Aaron Donald. I mean, there's maybe 2 defensive linemen that I would take ahead in any specific format, but I mean, it's staple. Von Bell, I know that Jorge, you and I both are really big on both him and Jesse Bates, probably best safety duo in football.
Yeah, one of them.
Safe to say.
Yeah.
I think it might be the best. But, I mean, we'll leave that for others to discuss. And then Alua Khan. Alua Khan's here from St. Louis. Kurt, did you know that?
No.
Yeah, there you go. He played at where'd Zeke play?
Priory.
Nope. Close to that, though.
Burroughs.
John Burroughs.
Yeah.
So that high school had Alua Khan and Zeke both playing. They're here down. Really rich, bougie school, by the way, in case you guys didn't. No one's ever heard of John Burroughs. But
No.
So here's my question then. Montez Sweat, I think we know with that defensive line, any particular week, double-digit sacks is possible. What do you think of Quinnen Williams? Will he come close to last year's totals?
I mean, last year, as far as I remember, he was somewhat underwhelming. I think he had flashes where he performed well, but, I think the team was completely different. I think the defense was a lot worse. And, you're bringing in Robert Saleh, who is just, obviously miles better than he who should not be named, who's now out at the Jets.
Nice.
Robert Saleh has been able to feed defensive linemen, So I'm kind of hoping he could take that, was it year 3 step?
Well, so he had a 125% increase on sacks from 19 to 20.
Yeah.
His hurries were doubled. His tackles were doubled. Everything doubled. So, as far as the underwhelming, in comparison to what is draft capital as number 3 pick overall, that is fair to say. But as far as his development from year 1 to 2, that's my question. Is last year his ceiling, or is there room for even further growth? That would be, I guess, probably the better way to phrase that question if I wanted to be a good host.
I definitely think there is room. I think the team context around him is just, like I said, miles better. And he was injured for a portion of last year, if I remember correctly.
He was. He actually missed a little bit. So
like 3 games, season, I think, right?
Weeks 9, 10, and then the last week of the season. So yeah, I think he missed 3 total games. He had close to 600 snaps last year, which is still solid for an interior lineman. But yeah, they're
I'm on the clock.
They're going to be on the field. Are you on the clock?
Your plan is working.
You big dummy. You ain't getting Richie Grant from me. Okay.
Did it work?
Matthew Judon.
Oh.
It did work.
Okay.
Very good. So, well, all right.
But yeah, so I'm hoping Quinnen Williams works.
I think we could probably go through a lot more.
I didn't know there's all these other maybe better players buried in the there's 2000s.
Not. Yeah, no. Who knew? Who knew that you could
right.
Shit. How long is he going to be out? That's good to know. I can't click on his name to find out how long.
Why? down in the bottom, do I still have one bench spot open?
No one really knows, Gary.
Did we discuss that already? Did I fall asleep?
No, you didn't fall asleep. No one really truly knows. Well, we know is that there's only 16 rounds in this draft. And so,
well, that totally messed me up. I had a plan, and now look.
And you were
look where it got you. Look where planning got you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
You were thinking Javon
Yeah.
Kinlaw was the perfect second to last round pick.
I was actually just on the other side of that door going, Laudermilk. They'll never know.
Yeah.
See, you joke, right? But watch this be a thing. All right, watch him be a thing this year.
That would be wild.
I'm gonna remember where it started if he is.
Oh, there's nobody can forever forget that.
We might be the first people to ever publicly discuss the future of Laudermilk.
Go back to the Fantasy and Frames YouTube page to find this episode.
Okay, so is he even on their roster? Did somebody look him up? He on the roster
right now?
That's what I was going to do too.
Laudermilk, Steelers.
Yep, Pittsburgh.
Oh, we have a friend there that could give us an answer.
We do have a friend.
They traded up to get him.
They did.
What from the 6th to the 5th?
Right, exactly.
I'm just kidding, man. I don't
Fourth
know.
round pick. They invested a 2022 4th round to get him. 5th round pick, yeah.
Huh.
Is he on the team? Let's see. Can I find it?
Are you guys watching the screen now?
No.
This is
I have to stop sharing before you can start sharing, Nate.
Oh, boo.
Wisconsin defense partner, they're missing some of their key players.
Okay, do that again. Share your screen again.
All right.
Laudermilk is active on Pittsburgh.
Okay. So here is
John Hewitt, who was going in motion that time, got it on the sweep action.
We're all gonna. This is gonna be great. A highlight reel
He's the veteran,
of a 4th round
senior
pick
Dakota Dixon.
That none of us who are doing an IDP only league are watching are going to
10.
walk away.
And back to the line of scrimmage.
Raving reviews for Isaiah Loudermilk.
Greg Anderson.
Good penetration into the backfield.
Loudermilk makes the stop.
I'm not good at taking
against that pounding Northwestern defense.
Exactly.
Defensive line.
Look at the way he abused that right guard out of Minnesota, the undrafted right guard.
I want to let you guys know that now I'm hit because as I research for the entire year, every day that I do that, I'll have to put his name in and see what he's up to. I'll have to.
Yep.
If I read an IDP column that doesn't include at least some mention of Laudermilk,
You might see me drop an IDP dime on him. Go get him. He's going to hit. He's getting ready here.
4th and goal play. Loudermilk gets penetration and
when you get
from
opportunities like this, 2nd and 6 at the 10,
touchdown stopping
but not a lot of
save
success.
to stop them from only
Isaiah
winning by
Loudermilk
35 against
gobbled him
Michigan.
up.
But whatever.
What you're gonna see here is
Laudermilk gobbled him up. I love that.
Laudermilk gobbled him up.
I love that line.
Suffering an
That's
injury
there.
through camp. They were trying
Exactly.
to nurse him back for the big.
Do we get COVID spots on this roster?
Gary, I didn't know we even were going to finish this draft, so there's no chance we're going to get it.
Scrimmage, and it looks like they'll mark him down.
There's no COVID. There's we don't know if the scoring is going to actually be true or not. Everybody has to keep track of their own scores and send it in each week.
Check the
We're
newspaper.
old school.
Monday.
USA Today. In case you guys don't get that, that is out. And
Are we the only IDP league in this site?
the only IDP league? They do offer IDP and offense combo.
Stepping away from the end zone,
But the only all IDP league, huh?
Correct. And this is a site that has,
Fields in
they've been
trouble.
around for,
Fields
like I said,
will be
a very
sacked
long
again.
time. They
I
have-
can't hear nothing but the Laudermilk highlight. Sorry.
I'll stop
What was you
there.
saying?
I was saying that yes, they do have a ton of leagues. Shockingly, we're the only IDP only league that they've, to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah. They've been around long. You know much
Yeah.
about them?
I
Yeah, see,
mean,
is that what you was talking about earlier? I apologize. Or RTS or something? I had never heard of them, man, until you brought them up.
No, I understand. So if you ever watch any or hear about like the FSTA drafts that they do, Colton and the Wolfman do some drafts. The Fantasy Sports SiriusXM have their FSTA and FSWA and a lot of their expert leagues that they talk about all run through RTSports. That's their host provider. My guess is that they don't do an IDP only on SiriusXM, or they wouldn't be able to broadcast half of our discussion when we're like, who the fuck is Isaiah?
Right.
It tells me the radio FCC probably would have shut us down.
Right.
Once they heard the name Loudermilk, they
would have just
nobody would have stepped in.
Yeah, these guys are idiots.
This is not radio ready.
Right. Where did Howard Bender find these fools?
Those guys don't know what they're talking about.
I'll tell you what. Keith Butler called him the next a small Cameron Hayward.
Oh.
Huh. Well,
according to SteelerDepot.com.
Oh no! Then I wonder why he's not.
Depot.
Maybe he'll get some. Maybe we'll get to actually see him play a little bit with Tuitt out. Tuitt's still out.
Tuitt's still out.
And Wormley. I mean, I think Wormley is supposed to play his spot there, but never know. Maybe he's see Loudermilk getting it done.
If we
now I got to go see how much the jersey is, man. You think they in back order?
It's create your own. You have to write it, and it's unfortunately per letter, so you're going to pay about an extra $30 because it's just going to say.
Once you get to milk,
it's just milk. It says milk on the back. I don't know what number he is, but if there's anything we've learned from this entire hour and 50 minutes together, is that Isaiah Loudermilk played at Wisconsin. He's drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and everything else is moot. It really doesn't matter to me the rest of the season. I would love to win. I hope that
we all won tonight in one way.
We all won. Won.
That's one way to put it.
Hollywood won.
Hollywood might have one for sure.
Yeah. Did he have one linebacker?
Let's see. If we go to Hollywood.
So it didn't pick him a linebacker.
2 in the last 2 rounds.
So how about I read off
Ryan
this?
Shazier.
Yes.
Wow.
Ryan Shazier.
Wow.
Oh man.
His team does not have a leg to stand on. Is that a bad Shazier?
Is that a bad pun? That's horrible.
All right.
Okay, so
so I'm looking for this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So all of the IDP experts in this room, I'm going to read off his starting rotation, and we're going to give it with a groan meter of Jonathan Allen, Jonathan Hankins. Oh, the all Jonathan defensive line grouping. Solid start. Chad Thomas, Carter Coughlin, Ryan Shazier linebacking group. Jamal Adams, Jesse Bates, Kevin Byard, Jonathan Abram, Minka Fitzpatrick, Tyrann Mathieu, Marcus May, Ronnie Harrison, Trent Murphy, Quentin Jefferson, and Lawrence Guy. So short of his defensive backs, the rest of the team will not probably play other than Jonathan Allen. Yowzers.
But who knows? I mean, that defensive back room, that could be a league winner.
Can carry him, right?
They're really good. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it definitely impacted. Like we said, Dylan, we got to your team, and we stopped with yours at Quinnen Williams. But Jamie Collins will be on the field a ton. He's going to get plenty of tackles there. Carlton Davis is Jorge and I is one of our favorites from last year.
Yep.
He was picked on so early, and then he became shut down, and they still went his direction. And I think that might drop a little bit this year. I don't think they worry too much about what's the other corner's name?
Dean, something Dean.
Jamel Dean. Jamel Dean.
I don't do corners, so.
No, you're not missing anything.
I'm trying to learn, though, so I'm paying attention.
It's all about the scoring setting. As long if there's a setting that gives you good points for passes defense, then corners become more valuable.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly Carlton Davis on here scored 200 points in 2020.
Yeah. Passes defensed and the interceptions potential. I mean, Carlton Davis, so he was targeted a ton, and his tackle upside was high for a corner, especially so defensive back, for him to get 70 plus tackles and have the passes defensed. Yeah, I'm not knocking that pick at all. To be honest with you, can get him, and then you followed up with in the 9th and 10th round, or 9th, 10th, 11th of Khalil Mack, Bud Dupree, and Bradley Chubb. That's pretty solid.
That's just linebacker core right there, I feel like.
Exactly. I mean, hindsight says – so here's the crazy thing, you guys. If we had actually taken Hollywood's philosophy here and he had actually been with us and knew this, like I might jump into an IDP-only league with a bunch of idiots that don't know what they're doing also and do this route. You could have Adams, Bates, Byard, Antoine Winfield, something like that, and then dig deep and get JPP, Za'Darius Smith, Khalil Mack, and I mean, interesting strategy. Strategy. Kurt, you still here with us?
Yep, sir.
Let's talk about yours. Are you able to see? So Bobby Wagner, clearly that top 5 linebacker conversation. Did you, between him and Zach Cunningham, were you going back and forth, or did you have a dead set on Wagner?
No, I thought I was getting Blake Martinez.
Hey, man, this has been real, but it's late. I've been working on my charts. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here. Kurt, take it easy.
Thanks, Gary. Pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm terrible at names and I'm about half asleep. So you fellas have a good night, all right?
All right, Gary. Have a good one.
Gary.
Thanks for joining us, buddy. We'll see you, man.
Later.
Yeah, no, I literally thought I was going to get Martinez there at 5, and then when he went right before me, I was like, ugh. And I only had 60 seconds, so I just went Bobby Wagner.
I don't know if there's really that much of a difference.
I mean, you poor guy. Oh, geez.
I know.
You had to settle for Bobby Wagner. I know.
Yeah.
My favorite pick was taking Micah Parsons because I could hear Jorge.
I had him queued
grunt,
up.
groan,
like,
and very angry with that. It sounded like
I was.
But,
yes.
Throughout, you did a good job of correcting when everybody else kind of lost track of players. I mean, even with Milano and Adrian Phillips in 7 and 8, Ngakoue in 9, Keanu Neal in 10, I think is a steal. I don't know what eligibility he has. If he has
this is linebacker. Yeah, I'm hoping he gets.
Really?
I hope he's back to DB eligibility, but I don't know. So
my cautionary tale here, bro, is that if the same league that makes us scroll down to pick number 1485 for Keanu Neal probably is not going to be proactive in changing his eligibility based off of defensive back snaps versus linebacker snaps.
Yeah, so
sorry.
One can only hope.
One can only hope. I will say I'd love where I remember when I was telling you about Cincinnati linebackers. In round 14, you got Logan Wilson.
I almost picked him up because you made such a convincing argument the other day. I was like,
Did he?
I've got him on our dynasty league. I drafted him last year, and he was on my taxi squad all last year. So, yeah, that's why I knew he was out there.
Nice.
How about that? Well, I think that kind of wraps up this show. Yeah.
As I say, I don't want to exclude you and I's teams, but it's 2 hours long. I can't see anybody else wanting to pay attention.
Nope. So, well, Dylan, thank you for sticking with us the entire way.
Great draft.
Finally meet you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what a weird, fucking crazy.
Sorry. Fun one.
Kurt, as always, it's great talking to you, man. We got to do this more often.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Had a blast.
All right, Nate. We'll see you later.
All right. Yep. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Folks.
Nice
Bye.
guys.
Long live Laudermilk.